name is Keith Andrew, and this is Keith Andrew Network, episode 341. I'm here with two beautiful women, Kiley and Ms. Andrea, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thanks for having us, and Kiley's going to join us shortly. She's just sending off an audition. An actress is being an actress, so she'll be with us in just a second.
Oh, absolutely. And now, for people who want to know, if this do you have a half hour, or is that close enough?
We have a little bit under half an hour. Yeah, because I have to get ready and go and do some other stuff.
Alright, so we can do a special double header for a half hour edition.
Cool.
So basically, I'm going to ask you guys some hard-hitting questions, and then I will pass the show over to you. You can ask me anything you like. And the first question I was going to ask you, before I get to the first question, would be, do my little slogan. It's basically the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even if I have a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities, saying labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. It's a proof to them you can still amount to something. So it's all about breaking the labels. And it's a real honor and privilege to have you two guys on the show, and I'm looking forward to building a friendship with both of you. And starting off, what can you tell us about yourselves?
Well, I'm a 24-year-old actress. I'm Atlanta native, so I've lived here my whole life. I don't know, I'm a Libra. I do yoga. I like to cook. I like to eat. I like to read. Pretty boring, honestly.
So boring. The life of an actress. I also act. I enjoy yoga. I cook sometimes. I know how to make hot dogs. I also do voiceovers and hosting and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Well, I just want to start off, both of you have beautiful eyes, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I know, I'm a bad flirt. The next question I was going to ask you before we got to the acting career is, did you ever do any sports growing up? And were you guys study nerd or party animals?
I did lots of sports growing up. I was a ballet dancer, cheerleader, swimmer, pretty much every sport I got really good at. And then I quit. I just up and quit because I was over it. And I was definitely a party animal. Definitely a party animal.
For me, middle school, high school, I played soccer, volleyball, cheerleading, and then in college, I professionally cheered for a private school that didn't have a football team. So I cheered for a basketball squad, and I was also a sorority girl for like one semester, and I dropped out. So I guess I partied, but didn't. I don't know. I definitely wasn't a study nerd. I hated studying. I hope my parents don't see this.
Actually, taking a quick, actually, we can do come off a break in a couple minutes. But I was going to ask you, would you guys be interested in a hat or t-shirt combination? I'm working on my own merchandise, to make a long story short. Basically, my hat is to show people with a disability. Basically, when you wear the hat, it's Keith Andrew Network. But basically, the Keith Andrew Network, it's showing you that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And so by wearing a hat, and by the way, it comes in different colors if you don't like the red and black and gold. But basically the hat is the saying, by wearing this, you're saying labels do not dictate. And also, I do have a free shirt if you guys are interested.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Maybe not give the audience our addresses, but I'm sure we can.
I wasn't going to ask you for that. But basically, long story short, I wanted to work with My Locker, and that's where I got the hat from. Unfortunately, they wouldn't mass produce it, so I would have to buy it in bulk and then sell it. So now, do you ever guys hear of Booster?
No.
So Booster is a fundraiser. So as of right now, if you guys would pre-order the shirt for $20, you would help me reach my goal. The good news is once I get the goal, you guys get the shirt. The bad news is if I don't reach the goal, bad news for me, good news for you, because you get a refund. So anyone who wants to support Keith Andrew Network, just go to booster.com. The link will be in the description. Get a free t-shirt. And just do what I will come also for that. Anyway, don't mind me. I suck at first impressions. But first question I was going to ask you second, was did you ever get the chance to do one of those human pyramids? Are you not into the whole human pyramid thing? And more importantly, is who influenced you to start your career, and who influenced you?
I would say, first question, no. I'm not really into human pyramids. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. But I guess Andrea is actually one of the people that influenced me to start acting. I knew her probably a year or so before I was even acting, and like she was just like my weird actor friend. That was really fun. And we ended up working like a commercial together because I randomly just was doing a commercial, and she just kind of took me under her wing and introduced me to everybody and kind of helped teach me like what to do and stuff. So this girl right here.
Okay, so Keith, Andrew, what do you mean by human pyramid? Is this like in cheerleading?
Well, basically, you can do it for fun too. Basically, you hang out with a group of people. Say the three of us.
Oh, where they link onto each other and like build the.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know what situation I'd be in where I'm doing that right now as an adult. Acting. I don't know if I necessarily had an influence. Like, I was always kind of weird as a child.
Right.
My brothers and sisters and I would, like, listen to Madonna, and, like, we'd dance to it, or we'd, like, do voice impressions. So I was always, like, entertaining myself at a young age. My parents aren't in the industry. I don't have cousins in the industry. I'm not dating anyone in the industry. So the influence, I guess, came from within. I worked at CNN for a while, and then I got into TV production. And so while I was on set, being a PA, I would see other people doing what I thought that I would potentially be good at. So I was like, take a stab at it. So that's where that came for me.
No, absolutely. Was there any certain parts of your careers where you said, I want to be a main actress, or were you ever like a supporting actress? If you had to dictate where your career goes, do you find more joy in doing voiceovers, or do you like being on main screen?
Definitely main screen for me. I think every woman actress wants to be a leading lady, wants to have like the trilogy movies, and like do the whole thing. And I think really, if you are going to go for it, then you have to really, really go for it and just do it, and no breaks. So
for me, I find enjoyment in both. There's just something a little bit different on camera. Like voiceover definitely requires you to express yourself. You have to convey a message, and it has to be believable through audio. But on camera, it allows you to physically become a different person. And I think that with the challenge comes the reward, being able to take on a character believably. That's why we like the stuff that we like to watch, when we know that person clearly is not a psychopath, but can become one. So it's very, very, it can be very difficult, but it's fun,
No, absolutely. And I do have a couple questions for you guys off the air. Yeah, I should have asked you this before we got started, but I can just run it past it off the air.
Is this off the air right now?
Oh, no, we're still on.
Okay.
But we are going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I'm going to pass the show over back to you guys. And you can ask me anything you want, and you can ask each other any questions.
Okay.
And then one thing I was...
video message for yourself or as a gift for someone else. For personal connections, shout-outs, birthdays, proposals, weddings, and much more. Enter your details about yourself so the celebrity can record a personal video message especially for you, including details such as your name, age, birthday, hobbies, or whatever else you include. As soon as the video has been recorded, you'll get an email with your link so you can share it on social media or download and keep it. Celebrities record videos as and when they can, usually within 2 weeks. But if you want a video for a specific date and it does not look like it will arrive in time, you can cancel it and get an instant refund at the click of a button. There are hundreds of celebrities to choose from, and many more joining every day. Search by category or genre. Buy a gift voucher, get updates and offers, and encourage your favorite celebrities to join so they can connect with fans in a fun and unique way. Raise money for their charities, and much more. So order your video now for yourself or for someone else.
I'm so bored.
Want to see something really cool?
Yeah!
Now you'll never be bored again with Loot Crate, a totally bodacious mystery box packed with awesome toys, radical games, and other surprises. And the best part is, you can get Loot Crate delivered right to your door. So don't delay. Ask your parents and order today.
Everything okay in there? Yeah, everything great. I love Loot Crate.
Hello and welcome back to 341. I'm here with Keith Andrew with two beautiful girls. And with the last 10 minutes left for the show, I'm going to pass it over to you. You can ask me anything you like, gloves off. And like I said, supporting a good cause and making a new friend out of it. All my interviews are different. Some got to be long, some got to be short. I'm horrible at first impressions because of my slight disability. You know, I am socially awkward. I admit that. But I do have a good heart. I'm a good person. But that being said, it's not about me. It's about you guys. So passing it over for the last 10 minutes. Was there anything you want to promote? Social media, funny stories?
Well, definitely feel free to follow my Instagram. It's just my first and my last name, Kiley Casciano.
What is my Instagram?
Your favorite Andrea.
Oh, yeah. Your favorite Andrea. Your favorite. Literally spelled just like that. Mm-hmm. I did have a question for you, Keith Andrew. What would be your ultimate interviewer? Who are you trying to reach out? Because if they see this and they might be interested and want to, come on the Keith Andrew Network show.
There's a lot of them.
You've thought about that. Give me your top 5 or top 2.
All right, top 5?
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys into wrestling? Are you guys into the whole pro wrestling?
Oh, not really, but I mean, maybe you can enlighten me.
All right, so I would say, number 1, Bill Maher. I would like to be interviewed by Bill Maher and have him on my show. Dennis Miller, Bill O'Reilly, Jimmy Kimmel, and Trish Stratus. And then there's a couple of wrestlers out there too. But, there's basically, to get certain people out there, they're kind of snobby about it because you need a couple of, and this is a question I was going to pass to you guys, is, do you think social media dictates your career? Or do you think social media can make you or break you? And the reason I say that is because, to answer your question, is certain people would look at your numbers, they would look at your views. Do you think that's right, or do you think if you have a message, that's what should stand out more? And for you, because you're in the acting business, do you think social media plays the same part?
I'll let you start, Kiley.
I think, so I guess this is a complex question. I think that social media matters in the sense that you are your own brand, so you represent yourself. So, you have to watch what you say sometimes. I think especially politically, or even for confidentiality reasons, you can't, go online and, talk about roles that you just booked. But I don't think that your numbers should reflect your talent. I think if there's ever a situation where a casting director or somebody is, passes on you because you don't have a big Instagram following, I think that's kind of tacky and unprofessional. I think that, we are storytellers and we're artists, and, if the only importance your Instagram should have is for you, for your own personal brand. I don't think other people should be looking at it. I don't think it should decide whether or not you're worthy of a job or if you are deserving. But I do think you do need to be careful about how you market yourself or the things you say, because you still are your own brand, like I said.
I have a couple things to say about that, Keith Andrew, because I was just recently at a workshop with casting director Erica Arvold. She was actually the casting director for Lincoln, the Spielberg film,
right?
And the casting director for the show Turn on AMC. And this question was posed. At the end of the day, on your old school films and TV shows, directors aren't looking at your networks. Okay, some networks are looking at your numbers, because if you have higher numbers, clearly you're going to bring your crowd, your eyeballs to the network, increase the sales, increase profit, more money for everybody. Your films, if someone's good, then they're good. Forget your numbers. Forget your following. Good is good at the end of the day. They'd much rather have a legit actor who's going to do a good job, as opposed to your reality TV star who has a bunch of hits because they slapped someone on TV. On the other side of that, it depends on the programming. It depends on the network. Some networks do want a star who has, a bunch of numbers. But at the end of the day, kind of what Kiley said, because we are in a business and you are a brand, you do have to watch what you say. Yeah. You are being watched. You have the politically, every degree, every angle, you are absolutely being watched. So you have to, there's a time and a place. You can have your feelings, you can still have your opinions, you can feel the way that you feel about Trump. I don't know if it's necessarily the best place to publicly post it out loud on social media. There's private groups where you can do that, or you can just talk to your friend in real life. But because you are in the limelight, when you've chosen this, this livelihood, you do have to watch what you do and say. Otherwise, you can go and be go and work for the post office. It's not saying that they don't have lives either. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Props to the post office people, because they actually do work really fucking hard. But anyways, yeah. So that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, I just think it's funny. How did he know I talked about Trump?
What?
How did he know I mentioned Trump a couple times?
Oh, I didn't.
Oh.
But now I do know.
And knowing's half the battle, right?
I don't want to get into it. I hope you're not going to ask me about that.
No, it's fine. It's not going to be big. It's going to be huge. I do poke fun at it, but,
No, that was pretty decent. That wasn't bad.
So with that being said, it's a couple minutes left. When I first approached both of you to be a guest on my talk show, I know, Kiley, it just was sprung on you at the last minute. But I do appreciate you being on my show, and I'm looking forward to building a friendship with both of you. The first question I was going to ask you is, when I first approached you guys, what was your honest opinion about my talk show? And after being a guest and doing our short interview, how do you feel now?
Oh, well, I just hate you now. I think you're an awful person. You ask terrible questions. I'll go first just because I think, new to Kiley. I'm sure she's formed an opinion about you by now. But for me, at first, I didn't know who you were. Like anybody that has to do their research, I did my homework on you. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was fascinating that you would identify a personal issue. Yeah. And you chose to be open about it and discuss it, because I do feel like there are people out there in the world that, at the end of the day, I promote people wanting to feel good about themselves, despite what they look like, despite what's holding them back. Because if everyone felt better about themselves and, were happy, then we would be killing each other less. So let's do the thing that we love. Let's promote. Let's bring positive light. Let's ask really cool questions. Let's just uplift each other, So I thought that was really cool that you would have a disability and overcome that and still do the things that you love. And I hope that you do get to interview cooler people like me, like you listed earlier, like Bill Maher, So I hope that does happen for you one day, because the same aspirations that you have, the same aspirations that I have, to be on the big screen and do big comedic films and, stuff like that. So, let's uplift each other. So I dig it. I wish you the best, and we definitely have to keep in touch. So that's how I feel about it. And I think that what you're doing is really cool, and I promote it. So, yeah.
Yeah, much like Andrea said, I really, I didn't really know much about it, and I still don't, but, you've been very nice, and professional, and this has been a nice little chat we've had. And I think it's great what you do and the message you put out and your transparency. You know, I think that, you know, if everybody in the world was a little bit more vulnerable and honest with themselves, you know, we would be much better off. So I'm just happy that you wanted to include me in this little ditty.
No, absolutely. Now stay tuned for I have a couple questions for you off the air. Wrapping up our interview segment, it was a real honor and privilege to have both of you on the show, and I'm looking forward to building friendships with you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Keith
you.
Andrew Network. We'll see you later.